Breaking news is AH and her PR have all but guaranteed that Aquaman 2, it is definitely going to fail as they try to spin a brand new movie. With them trying to spin an independent film that was filmed before the trial, by the way, as some kind of Hollywood comeback, even throwing Warner Brothers and Peter Safran into the fray, saying, hey, they wanted her back. I mean, Mira, she was a pivotal role in the success of the franchise. Yeah, they all love her and they want her back. Meanwhile, you have the actual star of the movie, Jason Momoa, sounding off in the last few weeks, and he said things that sound like he expects this movie to fail. He's saying, I don't feel any pressure for this thing to succeed. I gave it my all, but it's in a lot of other people's hands. And the reaction to this, it has been loud enough that the media, they notice it. I mean, you see the headlines here talking about JD is a survivor blowing up online as the latest AH news enrages the internet. And all of this couldn't come at a worse time for Warner Brothers. As one of their most expensive movies ever, The Flash, is bombing. Now you have another $200+ million movie. It's making headlines in all the wrong ways, too. You and I, we're going to talk about this stuff today. Oh, man. And this is crazy fun times. I mean, this is crazy fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Man, the audacity of AH and her mainstream media PR spin machine, it is something. I mean, she just had an independent film, one that she filmed a long time ago, come out. It's debuting at a film festival. What are they trying to do with this? So they're trying to spin it as a comeback. And of course, they're adding Warner Brothers to the fray. Now, Warner, for their part, seems to know just how damaging AH is to Aquaman. They've tried to be tight-lipped about it, and we heard what they had to say during the trial. But AH and AH's PR, they're taking this new movie that she has. Again, little independent film. They're wrapping Aquaman up in it, and they're mentioning Peter Safran. And Peter Safran, that's a damaging name for them. Why? Because Peter Safran is one of the two heads of DC film. It's him and James Gunn. And this is what they're having to say. Quote, this will be AH's notable red carpet appearance after JD's defamation trial. Previously, Peter Safran confirmed that AH will be part of the Aquaman sequel, despite the criticism from people. He said, quote, AH is a valued member of our cast, and her portrayal of Mira has played a pivotal role in the success of the franchise. We're excited to have her back for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. AH appears to be determined to have a strong comeback within the fire, and Aquaman 2 already lined up. Now, Warner makes this much, much worse because they never answer any of this, and I understand it's lose-lose. They have hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. They would have to fight the mainstream. They would fight PR and AH, plus all the crazies. But Jason Momoa, in his interviews in the last few weeks, I think he makes this stuff perfectly clear. Listen to what he has to say, not just about Aquaman and its stunning success, but his expectations for 2, and how it's out of his hands. Quote, well, to be perfectly honest, I was absolutely baffled that Aquaman was received so well. I've done things that are amazing that no one sees and no one gives a about. You just don't know in this business. I don't go do things and think, I'm going to get $1 billion on this one. I go in and do my best job. It's not that I don't care about Aquaman. It's a wonderful character. Aquaman is probably the hardest character in comic book history. He's made fun of and ridiculed, but I tried to give it heart and soul, and I'm proud of it in certain ways. Now, do I feel pressure for the sequel to do well? No. No, he does not. All I can do is give it my all. But, and I thought this said plenty about that, but it's in a lot of other people's hands. Yeah, a lot of other people. They got to make this thing succeed, but not the star. I mean, the star, the guy that is front and center, it's out of his control. Now, this couldn't come at a worse time for Warner either. Why? Because Warner Brothers, they are in the middle of a disaster. And we're talking about The Flash. See, The Flash, that was supposed to be the litmus test for controversy. You had new management with Warner Brothers Discovery saying things have changed. We're moving on. But they decided to keep Ezra Miller as part of the most expensive superhero movie ever made. And they expected high returns. I mean, the lowest estimates that they threw out were around $70 million, but this broke $55 million domestically. After that comes in, you have places like Insider.com, and there are dozens of mainstream places that are putting out articles that include him and AH. Now, when you read through articles like this too, and again, remember, this is mainstream media. We're talking Insider.com. They're admitting that there are problems. There are big ones at that. You also have to remember, Warner Brothers, they're on the hook for a lot of money with Aquaman 2. I mean, the budget of it, it's somewhere between $200 and $250 million. So, $400 to $500 million just to break even on the production budget. Plus, you have another $100 to $200 million in advertising. I mean, that's how much money they're looking at in this thing. It's going to fail. And I mean, look at what they're saying here, too. Fans have called for AH to be removed from Aquaman 2 following her legal battle with JD. Now, look at what's said here as well. I mean, when you look at that, as a result of accusations made by both stars, JD's fans and supporters called on Warner Brothers to remove AH from her role as Mira in the upcoming Aquaman sequel, since JD had to drop out of the Wizarding World franchise. One that also bombed, by the way, because of what they did. I mean, all of that controversy, it shows how it hits. So the Change.org petition calling for AH's removal from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has reached over 4.5 million signatures as of June 2023. That's not just fans, by the way. You're talking about millions of people sounding off. Millions saying that she needs to go. They've also hung on to her. They make that clear here, too. And again, that makes it sound like what her PR is saying, that is real. I mean, it doesn't matter that this stuff was filmed years ago. Now, they're front and center. You have AH. She's playing the PR war, saying, hey, I'm on the comeback. Oh, man. I mean, it destroys Aquaman. This movie is done. Warner Brothers, they can't catch a break. This is all they're making, by the way. But let me know what you think about it. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Thank you. I appreciate you. You want to help out the channel, by the way? Links are in the description. Oh, man. But let me know. Let me know what you think. And thank you.